Hey, what's up? We're live 1 minute early this time, which is awesome. So I'm gonna let some people get in, and it's gonna be a fun session. I don't know why it still shows that. Yeah, okay, good. Let me know you can hear me well. The mic is at a different position this time, which is super comfortable. Look at this, nothing here, nothing in front of me. That's like the best setup I could ask for. And I actually think, should I? No, we'll leave the camera here. It's okay. Next time I will also improve the way my. Let me actually move it like this. Next time I'm gonna improve the way the what's a capture the. I forgot what I wanted to improve next. Oh yeah, the way I see the chat messages and all of that. So in any case, thank you so much for being here. It's gonna be a fun live stream. Hey DJ Drop 02. Hey Tattoo Tank. Hey Elaine. Hey Plumpy Lump. Hey Hank, how are you doing? David, how are you? Today's not critiques. It's just a chat, fun conversation, and to thank everyone who is here. So I shared in the story today. You probably have seen that I've been working on a show you new project, which is this pile of paper. And some guessed correctly, it's not a book. It's gonna be another watercolor animation, and you can already see it numbered right here, and you can get a teaser of this here. So I actually finished sketching the whole 26 frames. Everything here is sketched. And you will get a nice preview. You're gonna see it before everyone else in this live stream. Just the pencil. I just finished the pencil because painting this is gonna take a long time. I'm gonna put everything on my desk. Let me turn off monitoring. It annoys me to hear myself. Properties. No, not property. Monitor off. Good. Okay. If you can't hear me for some reason, let me know. I just turned it off on my headphones. So in any case, it's gonna be super fun. I'm going to show you the pencil animation. It's going to be even better with watercolor, but I do want to reward people who actually joined the live stream, so that's going to be good news. And let us get to it. So let me see who is here. Hey Elaine from Ohio again. Hey Pam, how are you doing? David, woohoo, hey Liron, greetings from South Coast England. Lean B, or is it Lan or Lian? I'm not sure. Let me know. Hi from Belgium. Sound is awesome. I have a hearing disability, so it's well tested. Awesome. Good, good. Happy to hear. Yeah, I really played around with it. It used to be, the mic used to be between my monitors, and that's a nightmare because if I'll, can I rotate this and show you? I don't know. No, let's leave it like that. By the way, there's a chair here. Hopefully Ruth will join us later. I really hope she will, if she feels like it. I'll call her and have her sit here if she comes here sniffing, and then maybe she can chill with us. But yeah, the mic used to be between the monitors. It would keep bumping into them. So I basically got a better arm. The next step is I'm supposed to get something to kind of put the mic in so that I don't have to worry that it slips out. But we'll see about that because that's kind of comfortable. So I don't know if I want to change that to something where the mic sits inside it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. By the way, one more thing you'll notice is this mic's position. I can move it over there and it will be right above the painting table. Actually, this I can show you. So I'll rotate, move it around to here, and I have it above my drawing desk, and then I can record proper audio while I'm painting. So yeah, I actually already filmed one of these videos, so you'll see the good quality and just much more fun to watch, I think. So yes, Richard, hey folks, great to see you all here. Hey Pierre, evening, morning, Liron, and everyone, midnight here. Oh, it's late, but I hope you meant a happy smiley. Let me know. Hey Tom, how are you doing? Hey LJ, good morning from Lexington, Kentucky. Josephine, good morning. How is Ruth? Haven't seen her in a while. Oh, I was just saying, yeah, it's funny. I haven't seen your chat yet, Josephine, when I was saying that. Jill, how are you? Hugh, hi from Quebec, Canada. Marjorie, since it's morning here, good morning, Liron. Hope everybody has fun today. I will stay here as long as possible. Thank you so much for being here, Marjorie. I hope you're feeling good. There may be some noise from the window. Actually, let me turn on the fan and we'll see. Maybe I can close the window. Hey, Gaurav, how are you? I'm doing super well. I'm going to talk a bit about like the last 2 weeks or so. It's kind of the holiday season here, a lot of national holidays. So I was with limited availability because we just spent the time holiday eating, family, whatever, resting. So yeah. Hopefully soon. They're like next week is another holiday, a relatively long one, and after that it's gonna be a bit of a break. Pam, go ahead and refill your coffee. I didn't bring anything to drink, so I may do a pause in, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, get something. When the Wildcraft Arts, that's an awesome username. Hey, from California, thank you for your help. It's pronounced like Lane. Is it Lane or Lan? Because I want to make sure I'm super accurate. Maybe it's just Lane. But let me know. User account. I like your green headset. Looks cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is just a super cheap old one. I should probably get a new one, honestly. Got my lights here in the background running, which is a nice little addition to the studio. And the computer looks completely swag. Gaurav, I was waiting for you since last minute. Oh, so you've been here waiting for the live to start. Cool. Yeah, it's usually this time, same time, every time. Nancy, how are you? Bill N or Bill N. I'm from Scotland. Francisco Flores, hi everyone. Good morning from Ecuador. Cool. Marina, hi. How are you? Paint Hacker. Good afternoon from Dordon. How do I pronounce that? So Dordon. I guess Dordon? I don't know. Let me know. Pierre, great turnout. Yes, indeed. And you want to stick around because in maybe 10 minutes, I'm going to let some more people in. We'll run the animation. It's going to be really fun. So for everyone who just joined, I did start working on a new watercolor animation. Plenty of frames. It's going to be 26 frames this time, in less like a second and a half. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a staple of mine. My favorite, wink, wink, subject to paint. Here's frame 1. There you go. You know what it is. So yeah, people here in the live stream are going to be the first people to see what it's going to be about. So it's fun. And once it's painted, it's going to be much, much better too, by the way. It's not as clear when it's the sketch stage. So yes, Nene or Neen and Meds. Hello from Asheville, North Carolina. David Brown. Earphones in that style would make you look like Princess Leia. How cool would that be? Yeah, that's an interesting look to strive for, Princess Leia. PRB. I actually have black ones, but they don't have the right audio jack to get here, and I don't have an adapter, so I'll need to get like the standard one. Pierre, I did a portrait of you in the green headset. You're gonna love it. Oh, that's cool. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing it. Teresa, also John made one. It is, where is it? It's here. It's here. Where did I put it? I think it's up there. I still haven't figured out a wall space yet. I think I'm gonna put the YouTube button and some meaningful stuff there because you can see some of that wall. But yeah, I believe your painting is up there, but I can't see it from this angle too. But Pierre, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing it. Teresa, hi Liron from Indianapolis, Indiana. I enjoy your tutorials. By the way, talking about tutorials, there's going to be a really nice tutorial Saturday. I have shown you some teasers. It's going to be bees, wet and wet bees. Fun video. I think you're going to enjoy it. And it is with the new setup, so you hear me. Again, good audio. Nice quality. You can see my face too from the side. I actually took this camera, put it over here, and filmed myself from afar. So, by the way, how cool is that? You can see yourself, seeing yourself, seeing yourself. But in any case, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun video, and it's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since I filmed a tutorial. By the way, I hope you enjoyed the last Painting Masters episode. So many people have asked for one, and it's been ages, so I'm happy I managed to do that. And as always, this is like an open conversation. If you have any questions, if there's anything I can help with, you just let me know. Liz Clyburn, hello from South Australia. Sound off, partners asleep. Caravaning. Oh, cool. Okay, I can try and whisper, but I don't think it'll be good. Nicole, Barrett, good morning. I'm very excited to see your animation. Thank you. Albert Einstein is here. That's cool. Hi, Liron. Shout out, Shanha. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you, Albert. Liz says sneaking is sound up a bit. Loving washed over. Thanks. Yeah, and I'm so sorry for not participating. I knew the moment I posted the challenge, I'm like, there's no way I'll be able to paint it. At least not every day, so I may condense it, consolidate, plan, like the neutral A from ABC. Oh, okay, got it. Plan. What an explanation. Plan. Land. Okay, I think I got it. Pam, bees, I totally messed up a bee yesterday also. Yeah, you'll see. I think you like it, Pam. I hope you're doing super well. DJ Drop, is it just me or does Joseph Zbukvich look a lot like Jim Brewer? So, I'm ashamed to say I don't know who Jim Brewer is. I kind of... Maybe I knew and I forgot. So let me check. Is it Breuer? Stand-up comedian? Yeah, there is a bit of likeness. If that's who you meant, there is a bit of it. Interesting. Wow, nice job on the relativity stuff. Yeah. So in any case, yeah, we had the holidays here. I tried being as alive as possible and posting a bit of updates. And I'm so bad. Hey, lifters, how are you doing? I'm so bad at sharing like non-art stuff, because we had some nice, dinner tables, stuff like that, and I completely zone out and just do that thing. So I'm very bad at updating during vacation or during holidays, so my apologies about that. So yeah, I think we can get to it. We have 103 people here. If you can, hit the like button. I mean, 19 likes, or am I imagining? Let me refresh, because it can't be. 19 likes for 100 and something people. It's probably not refreshed. 20, come on, hit the like button. If you can, it helps the live stream reach more people. So I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's get to it. So let me show you some frames. Let me tease it out. And then we'll get to looking at the actual video. So I said I'm going to do an animation again. Yeah, the comedian. Okay, there is some likeness indeed, DJ. So I said I do an animation. I was contemplating two subjects. So I have this dancer, really nice video. I think it's going to make for a good animation, but it's super hard. And then I have another option that is cars. So I decided to go first with cars. And I like to think about what could be a continuous thing that goes again and again and again. And not just, go and stop, go ahead, run and stop, run and stop. So I just had a car going from one side to the other. So here's the first frame again. You can see it peeking through. And then as the frames move on, you can start seeing more of that car. There we go. My camera is very nice today. Does it have anything to do with the fact I have a better computer? I don't know. Here is another one. So these are all traced. So here's the thing. The way I work on these, I got a video and I edited it to make the action recurring. It was very hard, actually, but I managed to get it, and I cropped it out, and I did a bit of editing work on it to allow me to turn it into an animation. And if you know, and then I just went frame by frame on all the 24. I actually reduced the number of frames in half. So I dropped every second frame, so that I don't draw 50 frames, but 26. And I just traced each and every one of them. So I decided to make the drawing stage much easier on myself. The painting, obviously, I can't trace a painting, so I'm going to have to paint these manually one by one and try and be as consistent as possible. But I do like to scan these and try out the pencil animation just to make sure that it looks good before I paint. So now what you'll notice is here, around where it speeds up and gets close to us, the viewers, it starts to warp a bit to kind of give it some effect. And this effect becomes stronger and stronger as it gets closer to us. That's actually a very common thing to do in an animation. Just great fun. It's so much more fun showing you the frames like this rather than on the computer. All the way until it completely disappears to the other side of the page. And I may end up dropping a few frames near the end, because what happens is, think about it this way, car pops from one side, and as it reaches here, it gets closer to us, so in theory it should move faster too, because that's just how it works. It appears, things that move, kind of like perspective, things that move closer to you, I hit my big nose, actually move faster. So this is why when you're doing a road trip or whatever, you see the side rail moves really fast and the mountains go like slow. That's the part of that effect. So you get a rail moving really fast, and the mountains just go slow in the background, and some objects barely move in the background. So I may have to drop a few frames from that last couple of here, because it has that swoosh, right? So it'll make it look a little better. Now, are you ready? Because I'm gonna share it with you. So let me get it here on screen. There we go. So these are gonna be too slow and then too fast. And that's it. I've been working on that for like 2 hours. I'm gonna leave it running in the background. Actually, if I want to run it in the background repeatedly, I can't even do that. Maybe I can. Let's see here. Properties. Loop, of course. There we go. So I'm just gonna let it run in the background. Hopefully it doesn't make anyone dizzy. But yeah, this is it. This is the product of this work. 26 frames, and to be fair, 27 frames. And to be fair, 2 of these frames are actually the empty ones. So there's an empty one, and I can capture that. There's an empty frame in the beginning, frame 0, which I didn't draw anything, obviously. I just took one of the frames, deleted some elements, and made it to keep the dotted effect. And then the last frame, where is that? If I manage to pause it. Oops. No way I can manage to pause it, but you see it. After the car leaves our field of view, there's one empty frame. So there are 2 empty frames in between, so 25 total frames I actually had to paint. And I feel like this turned out really, really well, if I'm being honest. Just like the windmill, once I will paint it, it's gonna look much better. Much better and much more smooth. You will see, because it gives it more, it differentiates the tires from the body of the car from everything else. And I am wondering how to draw it to get that swoosh effect, right? And you can really see it if I pause anywhere around the swoosh, right? I think wet in wet or something like this would be appropriate. So yeah, so this is where I'm at. I'm gonna let this run. If you get sick of it, I can pause it. Maybe let's pause it on just one frame, and let's see. I think yeah, okay. The video disconnected, but it should be good in a second. Sorry about that. Sometimes the connection drops. I think you should be seeing me now. Let me actually check. Yeah, okay, we're good. Good, okay. Sorry about that. But in any case, I do want to talk a bit about the painting stage in a few moments, because one of the things that are very important with animation is that consistency, and it's something I kind of failed to do with the windmill and the ground and everything, because it's so hard. So I'm going to work much more mechanically on this car. And what I mean by that, there's probably going to be a flat wash that's just yellow. This is a taxi, a New York taxi, and some of you may recognize that. There's going to be just a flat orange wash, and then a flat wash for the windows. It's going to be a little flatter, probably, except for those final few frames where I could go a little crazier on the wet and wet and get this swoosh. Because if I want to get some semblance of, shut up car, some semblance of consistency, I kind of have to do it this way. Otherwise, it's going to be a big mess. Now, some people may like that big mess. The windmill has a lot of character thanks to the uneven background. But I don't know if that's what I'm going for here. One more thing you'll note. Let me close this. This is annoying. One more thing you will note is how there is no background. And there will be background. I decided to try a static background. And what do I mean by that? And I ended up just telling you the whole thing about the animation and everything. A static background is just like in cartoons and everything else. Some elements are just the background, and some elements are moving. So the background is one painting, and then what I have to figure out is how I mask every area that is not the car, right? So everything that's white around the car, I'll have to hide in the video and have just the car show. We'll figure it out. Worst case, I can paint the background without any pencil lines, but we'll see. I want the background to be static. So I have to figure out how to do that in Premiere, probably. I have no idea how to do that. Oh, I can probably do, I can do that in Photoshop too. Worst case, I can put a background in Photoshop and clean it manually. That's right, yeah. So this may end up being what I'm gonna do. So in any case, yeah, let's look at some of your comments, and then I will discuss some other things. So let's see here. So Lan says, no, apparently my interpretation of English fine right now is a bit off. It really is pronounced like Lane. Okay, got it. Lane. Got it. Okay. Ambi, hi Liron. Joanna says it says 34. And Ambi, I hope you're doing well. It's been a while. I think I haven't seen you last week, right? Joanna says it says 34 likes on my end. Let's see how much it is now. 46. I think we can do better. So if you haven't liked this video, it's very easy. Just hit the like button. and it helps it reach more people after the fact, if I'm not mistaken. Or not, I'm not sure. Lane, by the way, I love how much thought you've spent in all that you've mentioned, the room, placing of everything and such. Yeah, I'm so bad with these things, so Ahead may help me a lot. Mai, I'm gonna call her Mai, because in the Hebrew, the name is actually Mai. She helped me a lot, and I'm really bad at this. It's not my natural mode of being or doing, optimizing and, making things look good. It's just not my strength, funny enough. Like, my strength is more about the, art. If it's on a paper, I can get it to look nice. Not so much room, interior design. So it really was a process, and it will continue. But yeah, I'm just looking at this. I'm enjoying this so much. Like, I cannot explain how much it looks so good. And the lights look really, really good, generally speaking, especially later in the evening. It's probably going to start getting a little darker soon, in about 30 minutes, an hour, slowly, right? It's still going to be some natural light, but winter is coming. And if anyone's watching House of the Dragon, I watch it. So in winter, I think the light here is really gonna shine, pun intended. But yeah, I'm so bad at optimizing my work environment. The person the store I got the computer from, they were like, so all this time you worked with a MacBook Pro, and that's it? I didn't even have 2 monitors. It was just 1 monitor. Now I can see the chat, see myself, see the video, like see a bunch of stuff together. So yeah, I get so stuck in my habits. I really need some external force sometimes to get me out of them. If you're like that, just know I'm like that. So yeah, because I kept looking at PC setups, computer setups, desktop setups, and everything looks perfect and like super optimized. I'm nothing like that. I'm looking at them and I'm like mind blown. How do these people do it? And plus, it's very expensive. Like, what I did here is the best I needed, but the cheapest I could find for all of this setup. Like, I bought the cheapest things I could, but it's still a really strong computer. Like, it's a gaming computer, really strong. It's not as strong as like a Mac, what do you call it, Studio? That computer that costs like $5,000 at least, 6,000 I think, or 5,000, 4 maybe, I don't know, something like that. So this is a little cheaper, but still, yeah, it's pretty strong. Liz, just watch your night street and car scene. So good for me. I did a foggy scene for Washed Over, and cars were a mess. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Foggy scenes and cars. Cars are hard. Cars challenge a lot of people. And talking about that night scene video, so I posted it, and then I posted the short of this same video. And let me make this vid run in the background. I posted the short of the cars vid, and still barely gets any views. I'm like, this is one of my best processes so far. So I have no idea why it doesn't get that many views. So I actually played around with the idea of uploading the exact same video, night scene, and call it "You will," all caps, watch this process. And just re-upload the same video again, because I don't know why. I don't know if it's the thumbnail or something else. It just doesn't do well anywhere. Not on Instagram, not on YouTube. And it's, I think, probably my best process so far. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It's also one of the best shot. Like, the video quality is very high. Patricia, good morning. I like you too. Thank you so much. Nagareka, hi from India. I have been following your work for the past 5 years. Seen a lot of improvement, result of hard work and dedication. Keep it up and motivate others. Thank you so much. That's 5 years. That's amazing. So 5 years, that'll be around 2017. Wow, that's old. That's old videos. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your continued support. Always appreciated. Rattlesnake Renegades. I have to go. Sorry, we'll try to be around later. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for being here. Lane, wow, that looks awesome. And I've learned a new technique for fast movement. Yeah, that swoosh is so fun. Pierre, where were we? Let's see, it jumped on me. Surely there must be an easier way than reproducing every frame. Sounds like hard work to me. See, the problem is when you paint a car that moves towards you, it's not just the movement, right? It doesn't just move as a 2D object. It also rotates a bit in space. So you see, at first you see its front, and then as it passes you, you see more of its side. Something like this, right? So this remote, right? As it moves past you, notice how here you see the front a bit, right? And as it moves past you, and I'm not rotating it, you see this side more, and then eventually you see this side more. So there is a bit of rotation there. So smarter way or easier way, not really. Smarter maybe. One thing you could do, especially with cars, if if animation is your thing. Let me make this smaller. This is really like jumpy in the background. If you're like a real pro and animation is your thing, you can create a 3D model and then use a let's say a feature that traces that model. And that's how sometimes they do that, and then maybe the painting is applied manually to make it look natural. That's one thing you could do, but with my means and my experience and my knowledge, this is the best I can do. And you know what, to be honest with you, sketching these took about an hour and a half, not that long, another 30 minutes to scan, arrange everything, so it's not that time costly. The part that's going to be very time costly is the painting. That's going to be, and I could do this digitally, but I want this to be watercolor. So if I want to do it digitally, by the way, in the future, I can just pretty much use these sketches and just do it, based on these and paint them digitally. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Nancy. Hey, Joanne from London, UK. Thank you for being here, Joanne. Patricia, can you step through each frame from 0 to the end? Yes, definitely. So I'm just going to open them up here on my computer, and we'll go frame by frame. Like the best thing you could ask me, can we see all of it frame by frame? Well, yes, of course. It'll be my pleasure. So I'm going to share my screen. That'll be the easiest way. Window capture. Okay, let's do this and then go with why won't it show? So I think I have an issue here. Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. What? Where is that? I have a window capture, but I don't, it doesn't show it. Wait a minute. Just give me 1 second. Window capture. Okay, that's fine. Photos. Oh, darn, not window. I need display capture. My bad, my bad. Such a noob. Just now I can use all of these things, in the past it just wouldn't work because my computer was craps. Is it this thing I need? Yeah, okay, good. Let me crop it so that you can just focus on the frames. Sorry. There we go. Took a few moments, but we got it. And let's place it here, and let's get rid of this. Okay, yeah. So, oh, lovely. It's going in the reverse direction. So here we go. Okay. Empty, complete emptiness, and then ba-boom. Okay, there's one problem though, because I can't see the chat. So let me go ahead and get this. It's fine. It is fine. I'll look at the chat in a second. So first frame shows up, right? And there's some nice natural dirt and stuff on the scanner on the paper, which looks good. Shows up more, shows up more. Now, again, you'll notice these first couple of frames, you do see more of the front of the car. And as it moves in space, you'll start seeing more of its side. So here's where the rotation begins. By the way, I noticed I forgot to sketch one of the tires in one of the frames. But you'll see here, like that. See how the front is more towards us. It's very subtle, but then it starts to change and shift a bit. And here, oh, here I went when it sped up, right? So it starts to speed up. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. And empty frame. Frame 27, frame 0 are empty. Here we go one more time. Yeah. So I may drop one of these frames and have it like swoosh really fast from here all the way to here and disappear. Or maybe this and then that, and that's it. We'll see about that. But it's great fun. It's really, really fun, and it's It's a bit tedious, but worth it. And anyone can do this. I basically traced, so you know. You do need to know, like, to trace the right things, which isn't always easy. But yeah, it worked really well, I think. So I hope that is nice to see. Patricia, let me know if you're curious about a specific frame. Paint Hacker, is this chat about making videos? I was hoping for drawing or painting on paper or canvas. Yeah, it's just because this is on paper. So I am enjoying doing watercolor animations recently. So these are all drawn on paper and then scanned, which is why we're talking about that. But generally speaking, live streams that are just talking, we can talk about whatever you want. So if you have any drawing, watercolor related questions, feel free to ask them, ask away. I'm just doing these, you know, it's gonna be probably next week. Probably I'll be able to do a proper painting stream. I could do one. The quality may vary, but I can give it a try. I can definitely give it a try. Pierre, I hope it doesn't bring on a seizure. Yeah, because of all of the strobing colors. This is why I need to really be careful with the painting stage, really. And be happy like it. Josephine, these sort of things confuse me. Are there more frames to make it go slow or less frames to make it go fast? Yeah, so the way I did it was, Josephine, I took the video, I created it so that I dropped every second frame so that it still runs smooth. I actually looked at the video, it still runs smooth, and I went, okay, if it runs smooth, I can work with that. So I simply sketched every frame. The speed comes from how long every frame lasts. So I can have every frame last the length of a single frame on my video editing software, or I can have it 2 frames, I can have it 3 frames. That's how I create the sense of speed, basically. So I do have 26, 27 frames to play with, but then I can play with their duration. Usually you don't do that. You know how many frames you're gonna do per time, and that's the time, because you're making an animation for a specific purpose, you know, for a cartoon or a person talking or whatever. But I have the freedom to do it, you know, as much as I want. You got the car horn perfectly animated. So do you call that thing up top a horn? I'm not even sure what a car horn is in this context. Let me know. Patricia, I used to make decks of flip cards of stick figures walking across the page and birds flying. Yeah, I love that. That's what I used to do a lot in the past as a kid. Pascalina, hey, bonjour, hey, how are you? Pierre, I do it in Procreate, duplicate the frames and alter them minimally for movement. Yeah, you could do that. But I wanted every frame to be animated exactly as it is in the video. Yeah, you could do that. But altering minimally isn't as easy as one would think. You know, because it's not just squeezing the elements. If with experience you could do this. I personally don't have that experience. So yeah. It's you know, less, and as for Ambi's comment to Josephine, you could use more frames to make it slower and less frames to make it faster. What I do is I extend the time again of how long the frames last, you know. It's okay to love your man cave. Yeah. This, honestly, I wanted to do another workstation here so that Mike can work with me, and maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Because I enjoy working in the same space, but now we have separate spaces because she works from home too. Hey Pee, how are you doing? I'm at the moment painting a landscape scene of a lake. I have no idea how to pronounce it. If it's German, is it Shamsi? Shamsi? I have no idea how to pronounce it, but that's cool. Enjoy it and let me know how it goes. Feel free to send me a picture and I'll look at it. MB, thank you, Liron. You are right. It's been a while. So sorry. No worries. I'm so busy with my aquarium business. I had a hard summer time and now I'm hoping for fall and winter season. Cool. Yeah, I hope it goes well. I told you, we talked about it, I think, a while back. I love aquariums. As a kid, we say aquarium in Hebrew. As a kid, my parents, my mom would like no pets whatsoever. The only pet I was allowed was fish. And so we had a really nice large aquarium. When I was a kid, at least, it appeared large. And it was like curved front, flat back. And it was really, really fun. I loved it, just staring at the fish while listening to music. So yeah, we had tons of guppies. We had it was just really, really fun. So let's see here. Patricia, you should say, do not watch this video, you'll get views. Yeah, that's funny. That may work. Lydia, I don't understand why it was necessary to draw several times to achieve movement. Because that's how you achieve movement. It's just one frame at a time, every time with a small movement. It's not like the same frame. Every frame is different. Pierre, the night scene is one of your best. The Philistines. I don't know what that's related to my night scene, but thank you so much. Yeah, you appreciate it. Yeah. Hey Jez, how are you doing? Monica, good morning. Can't stay, but wishing you all a good day. Thank you for being here. Liz also found the interview you did with Mind of Watercolor, talking Washtober, etc. Great tips from the interview for me as a beginner. Yeah, that was a great fun. All the interviews so far have been great fun. I should do another one. I think it's time, especially now that I have a proper setup. It would be good. Yeah, I should do one. I'm gonna write down a note for myself right now to do another interview. Another artist. I'll also have an interview. I have a bunch of interesting ones actually, if I may say so myself. Tanga, hi Liron. This is Neela from India. It's been a long time. I've been busy with family commitments. Yeah, definitely. It makes sense. Thank you for being here. It seems like it's been a very busy time for many people. I don't blame you. Life is busy. Patricia, Disney animators draw thousands of cells for one short anime. Yeah, and that's why their animation is super smooth. If I would do double the frames for this, it would have been much smoother. Maybe that'll be my goal for the next project. Lane, people that don't have an artist streak, no matter the hobby. My mom is into patchwork, for example, but anyhow, people that don't have that streak don't have a clue how much work it involves. Yeah, you know, and happy you got it, Lydia. Yeah, I'm so... you know, I know nothing about some topics that I know nothing about, and it always surprises me just how much work goes into an artistic endeavor, especially sometimes it's ones you don't assume take that long, maybe take effort, but not that long, but they actually do. Jez, we don't know how much work goes into patchwork. Yeah, definitely. How many frames did it take? 27, as I mentioned. So I'm a bit delayed with the chat, so I'm gonna jump soon to the front, but just to see if there's anything interesting back there. There's a little, so let's see a plan, sketch and think it's done in minutes. Yeah, definitely. It takes a long time. Patricia, you love the swoosh. Yeah, it's fun. Like anything though, if you're not really interested in it, you're not going to care how long it took. May have taken an hour, but the kids... Yeah, you know, it's the same with comics. So when I read a manga, I barely look at the art. The art just needs to not hurt the experience, but I just go through the text bubbles. I don't know if some people can relate with, you know, Western comics, but you just read through the and I'm doing this zigzag thing, reading through the panels, the text bubbles, and barely, you know, if something looks really good, I'll stop and look. Otherwise, I'm just, you know, going through the text because I want to know what the story is, which is interesting. Tom, as a guitarist, I have to ask if you play that guitar on the wall there. I am capable, I'm gonna give you the most robotic answer possible. I am capable of playing that guitar. I sometimes play it. I'm so lazy when it comes to music. I always want to, but I never do. Actually, I just play for like 10-20 minutes, get bored, and then remember a couple of weeks later and feel like doing it again. And that's how it works for me. I know a lot of chords, like I can play most... It's so funny to say, but most chords I can play, but doesn't really mean much, right? No, that was when the car went by beeping. Okay, yeah. So maybe I should add a sound effect to this. I don't know. Maybe I should make a new. Maybe I should do an intro for this channel and have animation. I used to have an intro and then I just dropped it. No, I says 200 pages for your manga. Yeah, so it's gonna be... So I'm almost done with the manga. I'm almost done. I have it here. Thank you, Norai. I have it here. It is almost done. I have maybe 20 more pages to write. Joanna, please, may I ask, what are the best professional watercolors for a beginner? Thank you. By the way, I'm new to your live streams. Thank you so much, Joanna. I have always loved Daniel Smith and SAA. They're very similar in how they handle. It just depends on where you're at physically. So if you're in the UK or you can get SAA easily, then that would be the preferable option. They have a membership, which makes the paints, I believe, cheaper. And it's really good bang for the buck. If you're in the US, Daniel Smith is your best option, I think. If you're in Europe, you'll probably do really well with St. Petersburg. I've recently painted with Rosa Gallery, which are great as well. So these are two good options. Rosa Gallery handle really well. I don't know how they compete with St. Petersburg in terms of price, but both are really good. Patricia, same thing. At my house when I was a kid, only pets allowed were fish. 2 goldfish and a fishbowl of guppies. That's funny. Liz says this car animation reminds me of when we were kids drawing stick figures and little pets looking like they're running. Yep, I loved it. Jagadis M, thanks bro. I'm 55-year-old learning painting to kill boredom through your videos. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so happy. You know, I had this realization about a couple of months ago of like how evergreen a lot of the videos I make are, which is what makes me really happy because I consume a lot of content that isn't really evergreen necessarily. So for example, collecting Pokemon cards, I follow a lot of PokeTubers, people who talk about the card game and collecting and stuff like that. That's not really evergreen content. You could do it evergreen, but a lot of news content, a lot of stuff like that. I'm so happy that the thing I'm doing is evergreen. In a way, it's like people can find a video from 2017 or 18 and still find it useful. And that actually reduces a lot of nervousness or anxiety I have around creating content. Because if you are creating content, you know how tough it can be mentally, just the feeling of being on a hamster wheel. And one really has to know how to balance it out. Not balance it out, but let go of that notion and just do the authentic thing for you in terms of creating. If it's once a week, if it's twice a week, if it's giving yourself permission to just do a video whenever you feel like it. It's been a pretty big learning curve for me, and I feel at a very good spot. Like I feel very comfortable now to not post a video, but then I feel really comfortable if I'm energized and I want to post something to have like a couple of videos a week, to be very inconsistent. And the videos are evergreen. Like a painting process can help people in years to come, which is great. So as long as watercolor is still a thing, as long as people still paint, the videos are relevant. You know, as long as YouTube is still relevant, right? People are still learning on YouTube, which I don't see changing for a while. It's just such a gift. You know, there's a nice little dove outside, flying right between where my ring light is. That was really neat. That was a nice moment for me. You couldn't see it, but that's fun. So yeah, PP, thank you, Liron. I am fine. Trying to do the whole painting just with burnt sienna and cobalt blue. It's pronounced Chimsa. Okay, let me go back to the previous message because I want to see, because I'm like that. When I learn something like this, I really need to internalize it. Where was it? Where's the last message? Why can't I see it? Oh, I think it's a long time ago. Okay. Now I have to, sorry, because I saw a word. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. An answer I would never guess that's how it's pronounced. Liz, yes, the interviews can be excellent and useful, especially with people as authentic as you both. Thank you so much. And yeah, let me know. Maybe someone wrote down who you want me to interview. It's not like I can pick whoever I want, but I can try. David, just enrolled on your Patreon. You give so much for free. It's only fair that I give you something back each month. I would have done it sooner, but didn't realize just how easy it is. Thank you so much. Great work. Yeah, much appreciated, David. And Patreon also made a change. I got an email and I switched over so that, you know, in the past you would be charged every first of the month. And then if you join near the end of the month, you would feel like you're double charged. They changed that. So now they actually charge you if the creator does some kind of a ticks a box there. that they just charge you on the day you joined forever until you stop supporting. So that's good. So if anyone worried about that, you just go press a button and you can support, and that's much appreciated. I do offer one perk, which is credit at the end of the video. So every couple of videos, I'll go to Patreon, see who my patrons are, and I'll add you in the running credits at the end of the video. So if you want your name there, which I should probably give more attention to, maybe talk while I show it, and I'll consider doing that. Definitely do that if you just want to support. Like, you can support $1 and it's super awesome. So much appreciated. Kepala Batu, do you prefer tube or pens? Usually I'll go with tubes, but pens are good too if it's an easily re-wetable. Is that a word? Hopefully it is. If you can easily re-wet it, pens are perfect. The one thing is, I find that with most tubes they're easier to re-wet. One more advantage to tubes, from what I know, it's more cost effective. So if you actually take a tube and if you buy the large 15 milliliter, most of the time you can fill in a couple of pens and end up for a cheaper price. One more thing to have in mind with tubes is, if you want the option to use the paint fresh out of the tube, obviously tube is your only option. You can squeeze it and it's fresh, it's easier to work with, especially if you paint large. If you paint large watercolors, I'd argue it's probably better if you go with tube paints, like 99% of the time. Both can work though. Marjorie, after watching and listening to Aaron Blaze, I decided working commercially on animation is a hard pressure job. If you find a way to do this at your own pace, it would still be fun. Yeah, the animation industry is a nightmare, especially I know in Japan, they work people to the bone, and they also outsource to different countries where the labor is cheap, and it's just a nightmare. I have the huge privilege of, sorry, my nose is itchy, the huge privilege of doing it for myself at my own pace, So yeah, Pam, Steve Mitchell's doing an interview with me on the 14th, testing out connections first. Yeah, definitely. Pam, I would highly suggest, if you can do it through StreamYard. I know you want to do this through the Facebook group, but if you do it through StreamYard and use a private video, much better in my opinion. I can help you with that, setting it up. Let me know. PRB, if I haven't got a halfway reasonable painting in 10 minutes, I deliberately wreck it and then realize I've just done the best part of it. Go figure. That's an important insight. Had that happen many times. Lane says Lava Rosa Gallery. Yeah, they're really good. Check out, not you, Lane, because you know them, but if anyone else here haven't checked out the video, they're really good. Check it out. I did one video. Joanna, thank you. I mean, in the UK, I actually have a set of White Knights, if that's what you meant. Yeah, I meant White Knights, St. Petersburg, but if you're in the UK, try SAA, Society for All Artists. They could be as cheap, and I think they have an edge over White Knights in terms of quality. Not a big one, but an edge nonetheless. Liz, absolutely evergreen, and so are your curls. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to keep getting this area to be longer, this top and a bit of the back. I'm gonna grow it a bit more, and then I'll like this side here, and we'll keep that short, as long as it's fashionable to do it that way. Watercolor by Van Gogh, yeah, for beginners it's great. Yeah, it's not professional like artist grade, but it's good for beginners. Tom, regarding evergreen vids, was thinking about this earlier. You've really put your learning process on YouTube. As you learn, ever feel things... Wait again. You've really put your learning process on YouTube. As you learn, ever feel things like the amazing free simplification course would be better now? So do you mean if I film it now, would it be better? Yes, probably. But I do remember that course and producing it really well, and I think it's the best it can be. Even now, if I were to refilm it. So still recommend it a lot. Pierre was watching Andy Evenson today and was impressed by the fact he does a value painting, first showing what connecting shapes means. Yeah, he's not only is he a great painter, but he's a great teacher, like really a great teacher in the full wholesome sense of the word, if that makes sense, right? Like, he's so good at teaching and the act of imparting knowledge onto other people, not just in the mechanical sense. That he's really sharp when it comes to building the lessons, making them very effective, very easy to learn from, easy to internalize, very step by step. Just really a genius teacher too. So highly recommend everyone check Andy Evenson's work. I have an interview with him. There are a few other interviews, really good ones with him, and quite a few videos of him painting. You may want to check these out. Liz, oh lovely, a dove, maybe a good one for our Washed Over Tomorrow prone soul. Yeah. Well said, David. Indeed. Let's see here. DJ Drop, have you tried the Joseph Z Grays? No, I actually haven't. Or the Alvaro Grays? No, also haven't. If so, what do you think? I love them for convenience. Thanks. Yeah, so I don't have a good reason to use them over neutral tint. I do believe, so let me look these up. Joseph Zbukvich, Daniel Smith Gray. These to me feel kind of like neutral tint, so I don't know why would I use these over neutral tint. They look pretty much the same. So I do see, let me open it up here on the screen actually, because I do see a pretty good picture illustrating it. Let's see here. I can probably share a tab. Let's see here. Can I share just a tab? No, I can't. That's okay. I'm just gonna share the photo. Save image. Downloads. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save this one. And we'll go through them. This is cool gray. Cool gray. Warm gray. So let me get this. Downloads. There we go. Give me 1 second. So here we are. Let me zoom in. So we have here the colors. So to me, okay, neutral, warm, and cool. I don't really have a reason to use these. I think I'll do good with neutral tint, and I can really easily vary it with a bit of yellow and with a bit of blue. So it's really more of a gimmick. The right one feels to me like, and I have nothing against it. It's a cool idea. Don't get me wrong. It's a really cool idea. And I think if you just want a cool gray as a convenience mixture, it's great. But I like to use my gray or neutral tint as a gray, so I try to keep it as neutral as I can. And neutral tint does allow you to go pretty dark. So I don't know if neutral gray is the same. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Did you get these, and what are your impressions of them? Anyone here? Let me know, because to me, I don't really have the need for them. This does demonstrate how much I sometimes dislike cool grays if used too much. Like, I'm more of a fan of neutral and warm, kind of the look that I prefer personally. And we do have some. So I believe this was with the cool, and this was neutral, and this is warm. So, no, sorry, this is the neutral probably. This is the neutral. Looks great. You know, Zbukvich is so good. Yeah. So wait. Let me get this. So this looks like the neutral. This looks like the cool. So here the cool looks good because he neutralized it in some areas with a bit of warm. I do like the way it looks, especially here around the cars. And then, yeah, warm. So I guess if you really are using a lot of warm grays or a lot of cool grays, it's a good mix. For me, I like to vary it up using just my own yellow and blue and red, so I don't really have that strong of a need for it, I guess. But if anyone had good experience with it, I'm curious to hear. Pipi, some people I know are using Mungyo paints. I think they're also for beginners. Never heard of them. Let's see, Mungyo. So this is more... Mungyo. Yeah, I wouldn't take a risk on them if you can get something with a bit more history, unless you see a lot of good reviews, then definitely. But yeah, lots of, you know, brands out there that barely anyone hears of, like Paul Rubens really good. And unless if they had the distributor or the shop owner hadn't contacted me, I wouldn't know of them. And I have a palette of them that I still use to this day, and I enjoy greatly. So yeah, a lot of schminke you use, PP. Yeah, I don't know. Schminke are great. But I just haven't. I have a bag full of pens. I need to bring them out and use them again. They're just here in the closet. But yeah, Pam, I downloaded Streamlabs. Yes, it should be online, so there's nothing to download. Maybe you downloaded Streamlabs. Yeah. We'll talk. Liz, in the car night scene, you use a tiny fine brush. May I ask what it is? Yes. So I believe it was this one. I'll show you the most frequent one I use. I think it should be this one. It's the Tracy Levinson Small Brown synthetic brush. You can see it here. And there should be a link in the description box to, will it focus? I don't know. It's tough with pens. It's a bit tough to get it to focus, pens and brushes. But yeah, you get the picture. Yeah, small brown. Maybe it'll focus on the text. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's a really nice one. Great for small details. Actually, let me check if that was the one I've been using. Liron, night scene. Will it find me just by searching these keywords? Or do I need to put watercolor in? No, it got it. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's the brush. I believe that's the brush. Let's see here. Yep, that's the one. A really good one. Check it out, Levinson brushes. You can find a link. I'm gonna put it here too. Levinson brushes. I believe my coupon code Liron should still be active. If you use Liron, you should get some % discount. Tracy's super organized. He emails me. There we go. For the monthly royalties from marketing the brushes. So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Tracy, by the way, if you're watching by chance. Pierre, Andy also swears on the Bible of Skip Lawrence, who you introduced me to. Oh yeah, yeah, he's amazing. And the style he paints these days is completely different. Skip, he's still alive, right? I hope I'm not. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot. Kim Jung-gi passed away. One of the greatest drawers, if that's really a word, still, passed away. Unfortunately, I think it was yesterday. It was 2 days ago almost in the US, but yeah, at night. Here it was around the morning hours. So yeah, that sucks. He's really, really good. I have a book of his here. I can show you some of it if anyone's interested in talking about that a bit. Yeah. Winsor & Newton is also a bit cheaper than Schminke and also very good. Yep. But I won't use Cotman. I will use Winsor & Newton Professional. I'm doing a weekend workshop with Alvaro in 3 weeks. And every time I think about it, I almost have a panic attack. Oh, I think like treat it as a gift to yourself. It's very easy to sign up for something like this and then be nervous and feel like you have to either create something good or like you have to learn from it. Drop all of that. Pierre, that's huge. I'm super curious to hear your experience. Feel free to email me afterwards. I'm really curious to hear how it went and to see what you painted, even if you don't mind. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Let me know. Kendra, I just started watercolors this year and I've been using stone ground pens. Ooh, well, another one I'm unfamiliar with. I'm gonna have so many tabs to look through soon. I wasn't familiar with that. That's cool. Liz, is Payne's Gray anything close to these? Payne's Gray, I believe it's cooler, but someone can chime in on that. Probably know better than me. It could be, close to the cool gray. Yeah, all the greats are in Melbourne. Alvaro Joseph, me. We just need to migrate you. Yeah, so actually, there are great painters everywhere. That Australian brand is just so strong. There are great painters all over. In India, in Russia, in Ukraine, in Poland, in Romania, in here in Israel, in Iran, like everywhere in the Philippines, Vietnam, South Korea, probably North Korea too. Great painters everywhere. But the brand is strong with the Joseph Zbukvic. So I think Joseph Zbukvic and Alvaro Castanet really, they created such a strong brand that a lot of other Australian painters that are as good, by the way, gained a lot of attention too. Or almost as good. Mungyo makes the absolute best oil pastels for the price on the market. Love them. Never tried a watercolor. Oh, cool. So it's like a brand that does many different colors. That's cool. Oh, one thing I do want to... Yeah, I want to properly show the chat on the stream. I'll have to figure out how to do that, because I want to be able to showcase your messages. Depending on price category, but most half pans of schminke cost like €6. Yeah, that's a bit pricey, I think. 5mm full, 13 and 15 euros. Yeah, that's about as pricey as they get here. Maybe even more expensive here, because, I don't know, our prices are just crazy. Lots of import taxes, stuff like that. Yes, Skip's still doing workshops in Santa Barbara. And yes, his current style is somewhat confronting to the description. Yeah, that's funny. Hey Melodia, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Daniel Smith has Payne's Gray, Blue Tone, which I'm not sure about. I see. I personally love the Payne's Gray Bluish by Schminke. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of gray blue, it turns out. I like it in small doses. Yes, quite blue. Yep. So let me do this. I'm gonna get something to drink. It's gonna take me like, I don't know, 30 seconds max. So it's gonna be some dead air, but I'll do it fast. And then we can grab a book by Kim Jung-gi and kind of show his art. I think it's interesting to see. I'm gonna leave you with a completely strobing and possibly annoying video to look at. Enjoy. 1 second. I'm gonna be back soon. Ruth is really chilling there in the bedroom, and I thought of summoning her, but I don't want to bug her. I don't know. She looks so chill, and she hates being on live streams. How does she know not to be on live streams? I don't get it. Or how does she know that? How does she know that I stream and to not be here? I never understand it. Let me get Kim's book. 1 second. I always have it nearby. I actually don't need the headphones. So, there we go. If there's any audio trouble, you'll let me know. Got my unhealthy drink here. So, this is the front, believe it or not. And this is the back. And he's just really good. Now, there's a lot of nudity and stuff like that here, so I'll skip probably most of that, but he's pretty amazing. And we can also look at a process of his if you want. Because so the thing with Kim Jung-gi, he sketches from imagination. Perfect. Like huge scenes, huge perfect scenes from imagination. He built a spectacular knowledge bank. So he knows how to sketch. Like most of these probably were done with no reference, I would guess. He loves to do, let me show you like a big impressive scene, or like this is really, really cool. Right, all of these small parts. Let me see if it focuses well. Will it focus? Will it focus? Well, what can we do? It's focused earlier. Let's find one. Like this, I really loved this one. I did a study of, what's the other one? Yeah, the other one's crazy. This is one of my favorites here. There's a comic. And he really does a lot from imagination. I'm looking for a scene. This is nice too. Look at this kind of a scene, right? This ship thing, and he sketches these things like freely from imagination. It's pretty amazing what you can do. And it's really proof that you can do a lot. And learn a lot about anatomy and about, you know, all sorts of subjects if you draw them enough and if you practice, let's say, correctly, right? But yeah, we can look at a process. Maybe it'll be fun because he's really something special. So let me know if you want me to do that. Jane beats me. Plumpy trolling me. Oh, it's not a troll. It's like a... Oh, okay, I get it. That's funny. That is funny. Great for toning down other colors. Okay. The audio stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. Okay. Why is the audio bitrate 0? I don't know. Can you hear me? That's so weird. Let me test it out. How can it be 0? I mean, I hear myself. That's strange. I don't know. That's a weird message. Bye-bye. Ivan, hello from... Or Ivan. Ivan, hello from Matthew in San... I'm trying hard to read it, and then it's Matthew in San Luis Obispo. Thank you so much for being here. Melodia. Hey, I'm waving. Amna, how are you doing? Hello from Bahrain. Love Kim Jung-gi. Yes, he's amazing. I want this book. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, no worries, Melodia. I understand everything. It's so funny. A friend gave it to me as a gift, and this friend can sketch pretty well from imagination. Better than I have without practice, let's say. Now I'm a little better. He's not an artist, even. Kendra, I only heard of him once. He passed. But I saw a video of him working straight to ink without... Yep, that's what he's doing. Kim was a master, drew like a computer. Yeah, that's true. That's a great way of describing it, Tat. Just amazing. You see these panoramic scenes. It's pretty impressive. I don't know what does YouTube want from my life? It's like the audio stream's current bitrate is 0, which is lower than duh. Of course it's lower. Why would it be 0? It's supposed to be 128. I don't know. That's weird. And I can hear myself. David Harrison, I can't paint anything from my imagination. I always need a reference. But sometimes I see clouds in the sky that would be totally unbelievable if they were painted. Yeah, and thank you, Ivan, for letting me know you can hear me. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. My position on reference has shifted a lot in the last 2 years. So the more I draw, and you've seen me draw without reference, the more I draw the same subject, the easier it gets to draw without reference. But where most people do need for sure reference is for smaller details, especially if you're drawing something mechanical, like even these, you know, these headphones. You could wing the basic structure, but then once you start getting into the, you know, for example, this part here and this, like it raises it, there's functionality. You see this goes in there, there's a cable, there's how the cables connect, there's all of these, details. They're very hard to draw from imagination, and they're very hard to draw directly, like he did, directly with a pen. So I think if you can get the first 70% without reference, just from experience, it means you're in a very good spot in terms of your skills, and you can use your skills for many different applications, like not just drawing what you see, but also inventing things and changing things. For example, I can draw my hand. If I see it from this angle, I can rotate it a bit in my imagination and draw it from a different angle. But then for the final stretch, you go into Google, you look for the thing you want to get a reference of, and you just fill in the blanks. And he was able to do everything without filling in the blanks with anything, because he said it, he's observing all the time. He's seeing things and really registering them. I don't know if anyone can do it. That's kind of a unique skill. It could be that everyone can do it. I'm not sure, honestly. I would love to be able to develop this skill if it's possible. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. One more note I had on that. I think very often, like many people believe they can't completely, like they always need reference. you will find that if you practice painting the same thing enough times, you don't need reference. Trust me, David. It is possible. I'm gonna discover how hard it is once again when I start drawing the final version of the comic, of the manga. One thing I want to mention that's very interesting is watercolor is so different from what he does in a way. My style of more impressionistic paintings, because impressionistic paintings you get the overall impression, and it's preferable to sometimes convey it with fewer details. It's preferable to allow the viewer to fill in the blanks. But with drawing and sketching like this, people views, you're literally working on lines linearly, and it's very common to draw things point blank as you see them, spell it out for the viewer. Of course, some place for ambiguity does exist, but but for the most part, it's a completely reversed mindset than your usual impressionistic painting. So this is why the challenge is great. And I have a scene. Let me show you a scene I drew maybe even today in the manga. I don't want it to be a huge spoil, so let me choose something that's not a huge spoil. So right here, we have a scene of two people. One of them is using this thing that explodes a bunch of other things here. It's very loose, right? You can see it's a very loose sketch, sorry. And then we see zoom in on the hand that does this thing, explosion. And then we see the aftermath of this explosion. I have to draw it. I can't it's impressionistically show the explosion. You have to actually draw it linearly. And that's something in about a week or 2 or 3 I'm going to have to start dealing with. And doing it like he did from imagination is... Kendra. The surety of his lines, confidence goals for sure. Yep. Liz Clavernall is 1 a.m. here. Night from my side. Thanks again. Yeah, definitely. Go to bed, everyone, if it's too late. Pompa, can you do more videos on... By the way, Pompa, it's funny. Pompa in Hebrew means greater. It's really interesting. Can you do more videos on watercolor flowers, especially white flowers? Yeah, would love that. I will do one next week. I'm going to write down a note because I'm always looking for ideas. So another white flowers video. Definitely would love to. White flowers, to me, it's preferable. It's easier to paint than, let's say, strong purple or something like that. So I'd be happy to. Honestly, we'll do that. Yeah, we're caught up. Okay, I thought we weren't caught up. So yeah, we can cut today live stream a bit short, or we can do something else. Let me know if you have any questions, or we can just chill. Because last week I think we went for 2.5 hours. That was long. One thing I will say is a lot of people want me to continue critiquing and reviewing your paintings, so send them over. Keep sending them over. Maybe next live stream or the one after, if we'll do a painting one next week. Send your paintings for anything you want me to review, and I'll try and do it next week or the week after. That'll be fun, I think. Because I know a lot of people want to, and not everyone got their paintings critiqued, and some people sent more paintings for me to critique, so would love that. Plumpy Lump, how many languages do you speak? So obviously Hebrew and English. So Hebrew is my first language. English is my second language, but it's kind of like Hebrew is my first 3/4 of a first language, and English is like 1/4 of my second. Because it's a bit hard to explain, but we do learn English in school here from a very, very young age. And I was a good student. So I watched a lot of sitcoms growing up in English, and I would never read the subtitles at some point. So you could say it's almost like a first language, but there are some minor. I do have a bit of an accent, and the first couple of times talking to, say, Americans, I felt the difference. It was a significantly different experience, even from talking in a video, in something like this, even. Because when you talk it's very different from listening. That's just it. And it was hard for me sometimes to figure out how I want to phrase my sentences and my responses to just normal everyday conversation, because I wasn't as used to it. I'm not as used to it. So it's funny. So at least two. Now you could. What can I cram in there together with Hebrew and English? Because I speak a bit of many languages. So Japanese, I know quite a bit, but still like beginner level, I would say. And Arabic, I can understand a lot of Arabic. First, it's very similar to Hebrew. Second, my grandparents used to talk all the time in Arabic, and we lived right next to them, the door connecting the two houses. So I would come back from school and sit with them, and I would hear them talk in mostly Iraqi Arabic, and every country and every area, even region, will be different. But yeah, Arabic for sure. The Iraqi, what do you call it? What do you call like a local language thing? Let me check because I'm curious now. So talking about languages, what do you call a local language variation? I guess variation. There's a word for it, and I keep forgetting it. There's a word for it. Jargon, dialect. Dialect was the one I'm after. Yeah. So Iraqi dialect, or just language if it's different enough. Yeah. So that's definitely something I know. A lot of bad words, curse words, because my grandpa used to cuss a lot. Yeah, dialect. Thank you so much, Lefteris and Kandra. As for Romanian, not as much. I know like a few random words, so if you're Romanian, you'll get a kick out of it. I know lapte, milk, piatra, stone. Like, it's very useless kind of words. It's funny, my dad just sent a message in the group chat on WhatsApp, because I learned from him Romanian. What else do I know in Romanian that's completely useless? Câine, that's a dog, I think, or a horse, I'm not even sure. What else? I wonder if anyone here speaks Romanian. Let me know, because it has to be entertaining. What else? Miel, I know, like honey, but that's very similar in many languages. Or no, maybe in Romania it's miere, I think, miere, I think. What else? Like, I know a lot of words, individual words, but it's very hard for me to recall them. If I hear them, I know what I mean. Agua, like water. That's really lame. But yeah, so Romanian, very little. And then Spanish. I do understand Spanish pretty well. Focus, camera. You're not gonna focus? You're gonna focus on the mic. I know Spanish pretty well. I can understand, can't speak as well. Hey, Rage Bros Gaming, thank you for being here. Harsha, Hindi songs. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand Hindi at all. Would love to know Cantonese or Mandarin or any variation. But yeah, currently working on Japanese mostly. So I don't know, Chad. What languages do you speak? Let me know. I do know some speak Greek here. Some Berber. I don't know what you'd call that, the official name, but in Georgia. We had that. I'm sure there's a lot of Arabic speakers. Plenty of European languages, probably. Yeah, I love languages. I love seeing correlations, I really love figuring out correlations between languages, words, origins. Like, I'll spend, like, just the other day, I spent some time thinking about the word law and lore. And thinking, and I don't know, maybe someone here knows. Maybe someone here is a linguistic or linguist professor. But like the word law, L-A-W, and the word lore, L-O-R-E. And then I thought of how Brits and other, I don't know if Australians do that too, they pronounce lore. Like law, they'll still pronounce lore. Canada. Like, I know I'm exaggerating it. I know it's not the exact way, but... And then I was trying to figure out, like, do these words relate somehow? Like this lore and lore, and it's probably completely unrelated, but I'll spend just random time thinking about these kinds of things, which is interesting. Harsha Kanala, okay, What are you trying to say to my heart? Yeah, okay. Let me see. Interesting. Huh. So something I enjoy doing is I'll try and guess what every word means, but I have no idea here because I have zero knowledge in Hindi. Like chu sounds to me like a question, like a what, like a question word, but I don't know if I'm correct. The question could come later. I don't know. Well, let me know, Harsh. I'm curious to see. But yeah, I spent time thinking about random stuff like that, and it's fun. It's great fun. I listen to Japanese music a lot, so and I understand at least half of what they're saying. But if you go into more conversational mode, it's gonna be very hard for me. If you go into specific stuff, it's gonna be very hard for me to figure out what they're saying. Lefteris, favorite art painting movement? Ooh, I don't know. Touch. Okay, Chu is touch. Wait, Chu is touch, but how does that fit into what are you trying to say to my heart? Let me know. Yeah, I don't know. Art or painting movement. I don't even know if I can just name. Let's see. Let's see what's out there. I honestly have no idea. Because I know styles and stuff like that. Huh. I don't know if I have a good answer for that, unfortunately. I should probably, but like I enjoy a lot of types of art. When I get to visit a museum, I'm just looking at random stuff here, random paintings, and all of them. Like if I see something in a museum, I enjoy it. If I see something, I enjoy a lot of different things, a lot of different styles. I do like Impressionism, like the classic, more traditional Impressionism, Monet and stuff like that, using lots of dots. I like that a lot. The line between dialect and language is very thin. In German, there's a language called Plattdeutsch that's spoken in areas in the north, and it has lots of English elements. Oh, that's cool. Also, good question. So yeah, I get it. That sometimes happens. Harsha, yeah, that's so sometimes the literal translation is different. That's so strange. It happens. It doesn't happen as much in Hebrew, to be honest with you, but I know it happens a lot in Japanese and English. So that's funny. Yeah, I would say Impressionism to me, Lefteris. I would say Impressionism. Colloquial, yeah, that's another one. But yeah, it's cool. I'm so happy. Honestly, I think languages really do develop, like, make you think in different ways than you would, even when it comes to problem solving, stuff like that. I think languages do have that effect on your brain, and I don't know exactly what I gained from knowing Hebrew, but I'm sure the way I think is a little different from, let's say, Americans, Brits, Canadians, just because that was the first language I learned. There are pretty big differences. So let's say in English, an adjective would come before the noun, right? So you'll say cute dog. In Hebrew, it's the other way around. It's kelev chamud. It's dog cute. That's just how it is. In Japanese, I know that the verb usually comes last. In the last part of the sentence is the verb. So there's a lot, and so your brain gets used to hearing everything and then the verb itself. So like tomorrow at whatever hour would you like to go? Would you see a movie? Go. Would you like? It's so funny. It's so strange how it translates. How would I say that? How would I say that in Japanese? Let me figure it out. Ashita is tomorrow. Ashita, ega is a movie, right? Ega o, and then miru is to look. Miru, mitai would be want. Mitai. Watashi to ega o mitai. Is it desu ka after that? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. No one cares unless you speak Japanese. But yeah. Let's see. Kendra says English is a Franken language, just grabbing bits and pieces. Yeah, that's why it's such a messy language sometimes. I know that. So my dad is big into languages. I got that 100% from him, and he always he always loves to find these correlations too, and yeah, he talks a lot about that. It's such a bizarre language, and I think English is one of the, I don't know how it compares to other languages, but from my personal experience, it's one of the languages where the disconnect between how it's written and how it's pronounced, and the specific way of pronouncing, like you have words like a borrow, not borrow like to take from someone, but borrow like a neighborhood, and it's written, doesn't have anything to do with how it's pronounced. I know in French it's a big thing too, like the pronunciation is completely different sometimes, and that's a tough one. Like in Hebrew it's more literal, not fully, it's still a weird language with lots of exceptions. Japanese is very consistent, like pronunciation and writing, same. There's barely any, it's interesting. By touching my heart, what are your intentions? So yeah, that's so funny how the literal translation is so different. I love that. Patricia, here in New England we have lobster chowder and ham and bean supper. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Lobster. I didn't know you pronounce it that way. That sounds a bit wait, so New England, that sounds Canadian to me. Lobster. I don't know. Pierre, do you like the work of Milton Avery? A friend recently sent me a book from an exhibition. Let's see, Milton Avery. I don't think I'm familiar with Milton Avery. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I would definitely enjoy seeing this in a museum. It's not my style. It's a bit too simple for me, and not in a, not in a simple as a, word for dumb or anything like that. It's just, so some of it is a bit too abstract for me. But I enjoy some abstraction. I definitely enjoy it. Yep. I do like the more there's like a there's a style that's a combination of this and a bit more impressionism, which I love. I forgot the artist's name who does that. I remember I talked about her before, but her name escapes me right now. But I don't remember, but maybe I'll remember later. I saw her in a couple of museums. Just great artist. I love that. So it's more towards the impressionism, a bit more realistic, I guess. But yeah, seems to be the first big user of color as value and an alternative to perspective. Yeah, and that has some importance too. Hey, Alessandro, how are you doing? That has some importance too. Being the first to do something, that definitely means something in the art world. Alessandro, hey, just want to say hello, and that looking at your Discord, I discovered Washtober in one of your messages. So even if slowly, I'm trying to do it. Awesome. Thank you for this idea. That helps me painting. Yeah, and I think what we'll do is at the end of Washtober, I can do a video. So because I'm not that involved, unfortunately, this year with the challenge, my involvement could be around the end of the month or after it's over, to do a video showcasing some of your works. I think that's a good idea. So don't forget, everyone, to use the Washtober hashtag or Washtober 2022. We can do that. Josephine, I loved your live video on perspective. I was playing air painting and found it a lot less mentally fatiguing, and my attitude about learning to draw is much more positive. Oh, that's cool. That's great to hear. Yeah, there are so many tricks you can just do to make it so much easier. It's a challenge, but it is possible to really learn how to make the process easier on yourself. It is possible. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes it seems so tough to do something. I'm like that now with faces and portraits and even simplified faces. Hey Sean, how are you doing? Fariz, I want to install Duolingo app again, but App Store showed app would collect tons of data to track the user. Oh, so you kind of lost interest for it. If you want to learn Japanese, anyone out there, I highly recommend an app called Human Japanese. It has two parts, beginner and advanced. Start with the beginner if you're a beginner. Highly recommend checking it out. I don't think it collects tons of data and stuff like that. And I think you should be able to opt out if you're using an iPhone. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Duolingo, even though I haven't used it for ages. The last time I used it was almost a decade ago. No, not a decade. I'm exaggerating. 6, 7, no. Back in 2013, 14. So that's almost a decade ago, yeah. In South America, I used it to get a bit of Spanish knowledge under my belt. Wasn't a big fan. Felt very repetitive. They probably changed it completely by now, but yeah, I don't know. a naif style. That's funny. Naif. Do some people pronounce knife as naif too? By the way, I'm curious. Hi Lynn, good morning Liron. Hi from the Bay Area. Thank you for being here. I saw another, so your previous message, I don't know, I saw it and then it disappeared, so sorry. Kendra, Avery reminds me a bit of O'Keeffe. Yes! That's the artist I was talking about. O'Keeffe. What's her first name? Georgia O'Keeffe, of course. That you got it. You helped me. Yeah, Georgia O'Keeffe. That was exactly the artist I was referring to. So a bit more on the realistic side. Not all of her work, but some cityscapes, believe it or not, are quite realistic. Here we go. I found it. I found a picture of it. Let me show you. Georgia O'Keeffe. Maybe I can find a specific cityscape. I don't remember if I did. I didn't do a painting masters on her, but let's see if I can find it. One of my favorites. Yeah, there we go. One of my favorites ever. I don't remember what museum it was. It was a big one, though. In New York. But this is one of my favorites. Without a doubt. This one. This one it was one of my favorites in the museum, and it is, you see, a bit more realistic. It's realistic, you know, impressionistic, still similar style. That's so cool that you immediately you just guessed the artist I was referring to. That's really, really cool. Love Georgia O'Keeffe. Kai Lin, you're very inspirational. Thanks for what you're doing for the community. Thank you so much. Oh, naive. Okay. Yes, O'Keeffe. Contemporaries. I saw an exhibition in Melbourne. Didn't like it as much. Lots of skulls. I didn't see skulls. She does have a lot of other things. Other subjects she paints a lot. Flowers in multiple variations, let's say. Keeping it PG-13. Oh yeah, I can see the skull now. Yeah, no, I think it's cool, the skull. But yeah, I haven't gotten to see it. I've seen more abstract and that cityscape I just showed you. Kendra, her desert pieces are skull heavy, but she's known for florals more. Yep. Yeah, I love her florals too. She lived in the desert and lived till 99. That's cool. I wonder what it takes to live till like 100 or 99. Because I know some people are very unhealthy but still live to, you know, very late age. So I bet it's a lot of... yeah, very diplomatic. I bet it's a lot of genetics too. I wonder, I would love to live till I'm at least 100. Some people say, why would you want to? But I mean, why not? I mean, life is good. You have to be grateful. I mean, some people, I guess, life is not as good, unfortunately. But I definitely feel very fortunate. So I would love to live as long as I can. It's interesting to think about living forever. Would you like to live forever? I don't know. I'm not so sure my answer is no. Honestly, I'm not sure the answer is no to me. I want to show you one more thing that looks really cool. So Daniel Smith has this gray paint guide, which is really cool, actually. I'll probably rotate it in just a second, but so check this out. This is really nice. So I'm gonna go like this. Look at that. So this is, so they claim that Joseph Z's neutral gray is the most neutral, whereas neutral tint is more towards the warm. Let me actually make this larger because this is interesting. I'm gonna step aside here a bit. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to me. Have you seen this? This is really cool. There we go. So I wasn't familiar with that. So, okay, so it's not even arranged by warmth. Okay, I see. Because graphite gray doesn't look cool at all. But Joseph Z is right in the middle. The neutral gray. So neutral gray, warm, cool. So if you look at neutral tint, to me, it almost looks more neutral than Joseph's book, which is neutral gray. Am I imagining? His gray looks a little more green to me. Or yellow-green. What do you think? I don't know, chat, what do you think? I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. Let me do this. I'm gonna move this here, and then I am gonna bring this here. That way I can more easily see the chat. And this, good. Yeah, this is better. Donna, I want to live as long as I'm healthy. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a factor. I mean, for sure. If you're suffering or unhealthy, I don't want that. But if I can stay healthy, definitely, as long as I can. Who is your all-time favorite artist? Mine is James Gurney. You should do a video on his work sometimes, says Ted to Tank. Yeah, I love James Gurney. I don't know if I have an all-time favorite, but one that's the easiest for me to mention is John Singer Sargent. He has everything I love. Whether it's his watercolors, his oils, his everything. I love everything about his work. The portraits, the landscapes, the more impressionistic, the more realistic. I love it all, really. And I've seen his work in museums. And I'm so happy that his episode of Painting Masters, I think, is still the most viewed to this day. Definitely. Yep. Same as Margaret Preston, my very favorite. She'll live till 100. Oh, that's cool. So let's see, Margaret Preston. Oh, that's a cool style. Yeah, that's a very cool style. I love those color choices. Yeah, interesting. I think if you are healthy and you also feel like you have a purpose, I think the odds of staying alive, I guess, are higher. Plumpy Lump, yes, Elon, put me in a computer and let me fly, please. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. That scares me. And my manga is about that, about AI, and our future with AI and robots. So it's gonna be interesting. Ambi, I think living forever is hard. Think about all the depressive vampires. Yeah, you know, when I think about living forever, one of the things that looks, this is super theoretical. Now we're just fun. We're just shooting the crap. Think about if you have children and they have children, so you have grandchildren and grandchildren and all of that. If you live forever, at some point you get to see you can see a full hall or street full of your family, your future generations, which is a bit strange. I can't imagine. I mean, it sounds fun and cool, but it's a bit strange too. I know, very hypothetical, and probably not going to happen for any of us, at least not in the next couple of decades. But I don't know. Marjorie, to live a long, healthy life, I think handling stress is key. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I've had way too much stress that I couldn't avoid in mine. Yep, I'm sorry to hear. You know, who is it? Is it Warren Buffett or someone else? There's this finances guy that eats McDonald's still and drinks tons of Coke, and he is completely lucid and healthy, and they say it's like his mindset. He's not stressing about anything. Yeah, that's super healthy. My mom is more of a relaxed person than I am. I feel like my dad's more relaxed than I am too, but in a different way. But my mom is really chilling. That's one thing I would want to have more of from her. Like, I'm really nervous about every small thing. My mom's also, she can be like that, but on specific things, I have that for everything. So I wish I had more of her. Like, she's really chill when it comes to work and all of that. I wish I had that. Yep, it is more neutral than neutral tint. I don't know. I don't see it that way, but maybe. Agree with you. Yep. Yellow, green. Yeah, I see yellow, green too, Kylan. Neutral gray is reading green to me. Yeah, I don't know if it's our monitors or something else. I should probably look at it on paper properly. Domo, hello, Liron. KJG news broke me yesterday. Oh, Kim Jung-gi. Yeah. Domo, it's been a while since I've seen you here. So happy that you're here. I think so, right? Sorry if I say this and then someone was in the last live stream and I missed them. Yeah, that sucks. You know, I feel like I'm still super young, but I'm at an age where older people start to pass away, and he wasn't even that old. So he was born in 75, which makes him... So wait, I'm so bad at math, especially live. So I have to do till 2000. and then till. So wait, let me get this. If this was off air, I would do it in seconds. 75, so that's 25 till 2000. 25 plus 22, that's 47. So he was 47. Did I get it right? That's so sad. That's super young. That's too bad. And from what I saw of him, he didn't look like a too stressed of a person. But of course, that's not the only. That's not the only factor. Wait, 43? Did I get it wrong? 47. No, I was right, I think. 47, yeah. Oh, okay, I was correct. You haven't cut a stream in a while. Yeah, okay, good. I'm happy to have you here. Yeah, that's super young. 47 is super duper young. 47, like, I'm 32. I'm gonna be 33 in April. That's strange. Yeah, that's strange. That's like, yeah, no, it's okay. So that's what, 15 years older than, that's nothing. That's really nothing. That's a mind twist. So yeah, and yeah, he died after chest pain. Yeah, I heard it was something like that. You know, here, unfortunately, the reality of the area where I live in general, you know, it sucks that a lot of people die in, you know, military operations and stuff like that, and some of them are younger than me too. So that really puts you in perspective, I guess. Yeah, that sucks. Stress is key, I guess. That's true. Stress and I think like a bare minimum of health. You know, eating healthy. If you eat a bunch of sugar all the time, that's really bad for the arteries. Really, really bad. Paul Klee. Yeah, that's an interesting style too. Just Googled it. That's cool. I like this other artist, the famous one with the gold. So I saw the gold painting somewhere, and I immediately remembered the name of the artist. Now I don't remember, but someone will write it down. Kendra, I'm very cool with being infinite. Let me merge with the mushrooms. Yeah. Here, I work in medicine, and every older patient says, don't get older, it's just awful. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a rarity to see an old healthy person, but I do think it's more in our hands than we tend to think, because then I talked about this, like, I got to talk about this a lot lately with people here. I think at some point you just let go of a lot of things. So for example, the knee starts to give you some problems, just natural age stuff, and it's hard, it hurts. So you need to work harder at maintaining it. So you have to do physiotherapy every day. I did physiotherapy every day for a couple of years now, for 2 years now. Only lately I started to let go a bit of it, but it's okay. I had an inflammation. It went after about 6 months to a year. It went away completely, and I still do physiotherapy for my knee, because it does help. I feel it helps me strengthen it. You just have to work harder at being healthy. And I think at some point, people just quit. And I don't blame them. You have kids, you have responsibilities. It's so hard. But I do think a lot of the health decline comes from stopping, not from just the old age. And I think if you work out every day in whatever manner you're able to, barring, of course, unforeseen circumstances, different types of extreme injuries, and other things that are unavoidable, unfortunately, for many people. It's just reality. I think at least more people could be healthier at an old age. And I don't know, I hope to continue preserving, like, actually continuing working out. Even if you're not super intense into working out, but you just are consistent, it's like practicing painting. I'd much prefer you do it for 15 minutes a day than for 2 hours every 2 weeks. It just doesn't make sense. It makes much more sense to be consistent at it, even if it's for shorter periods of time. So yeah. Good morning, Laura. Hope you're doing super well. I've seen your email. I don't think I replied to it. I will try and reply to it soon. Kenra, we're going into really like deep, dark topics here. It's late in the live stream, so yeah. Sorry if this is depressing. Plumpy Lump, do you have experience with the Daniel Smith line made of actual minerals and gems? Yeah, I have played around with some of it. I've been thinking about trying it out, but the line is somewhat limited. Yeah, no, it's not that limited. I mean, there's plenty of options. There's like 12 or so, even more. I just don't like it as much. It's very hard to re-wet. They dry really hard in the pan. It's a nice gimmick if you like one of the colors, like you really like the way it looks. That's great. Sorry about that. I'm very happy for you, but to me, let's turn on this right here. To me, not as much. I don't like it as much. It's just not as useful for me. Let's see here. Domo, he was the age of my dad. It's insane to me, especially with how full of life. Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. You can never know like what's going on and what he was feeling inside and what he was, eating and exercising and all of that. You can never know. From the interviews I saw, he looked very relaxed and in his element. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So I think what was it, like a heart attack thing? I don't remember. You mentioned battling diabetes a few times in his streams. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. So yeah, that sugar is the enemy. Yeah. Donna 56 is young. I'm 71. Yeah, I get it. From everything is relative at the end of the day. Klimt. Yeah. Yep. Chris, good morning, Liron. I'm in Northern California. I'm 73 and I sleep in too late to catch you in the beginning. Oh, yeah, no worries. I'm gonna do one more premiering of my no longer a premiere, but of my watercolor animation for anyone who missed it, because I think a few people missed it. Keto dieting is the key. No simple carbs, lots of protein. Yeah, Pierre, I have to agree. When I did keto, I felt the best. I lost just the right amount of weight. It was the best. I'll probably go back to it soon. Biology is destiny, unfortunately. Yep, a lot of it is in the genes, but I think you can stack the deck or the cards in your favor. I do believe that. Horrid when the amethyst is really nice in the Daniel Smith and is easy to use. Okay, that one I haven't tried. Interesting. I don't see much difference in the hematite colors from a dark gray. Yeah. Kim Jung-gi died, unfortunately, passed away yesterday, which sucks. He was really great. Donna, I agree with Liron about the mineral color, not that great. Yep. Patricia or Burrow, a cute donkey. Oh. Burro. A burro is the Spanish word for donkey. That's funny. I had no idea. That's funny. Yeah. Pierre, I lost 8 kilograms, cholesterol normal, unbelievable. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I stopped keto a long time ago, about a year ago, and I did blood tests, and they turned out really good. Still, I'm not eating super unhealthy, but I'm kind of the last 6 months have been because of all of the move and everything, and kind of going lazy. I am trying. So here's one fun thing. I am trying, at least if I'm gonna eat something unhealthy that's tasty, I'll try making it myself. So that at least I put some work into it. I do believe like the law of energy preservation. So if I worked for the pizza, which I made a couple of days ago, I made a homemade pizza, which I love making. At least and I needed it for like 20 minutes intense kneading. At least I burned some energy doing that, So the law of energy preservation. Of course, you use the oven to bake it, so that's not work you put in. I didn't have to start a fire and all of that, but I do believe that at least I put some effort in it. But yeah, definitely should go back on that horse. Never hungry at all, no leaks or rough like with sugar. Yeah. I do have a lot of cravings, So I'll feel like, now I want sugar, now I want chocolate, now, Pizza is amazing. Pizza is a gift to humanity. It is. If I have to say like what my favorite food is, how can you beat it? And you can put so many things on it, Whatever you want. I made 2 pizzas. Mai doesn't eat meat, so I made one that's like everything. So tuna, bell peppers, onion, hot pepper, like green hot pepper. What else did I put? Tomatoes, cherry tomatoes sliced very thin. I put on her pizza. What else was in there? There was corn, of course. Olives. All of these things on her pizza. And for my own, I put sausage, sliced tomatoes, and olives. And I think that's it. But yeah, it was really good and very unhealthy, but at least I made the dough myself. The one thing that I really dislike is when you buy stuff ready, you know, not even pizza, like sauces are the devil too. And it has like 50 ingredients and it has tons of chemicals in it, and it's just disgusting, and xanthan gum and all of that crap, and monosodium glutamate, MSG, all that's like the worst. To me, that's much worse than buying good cheese, good flour, good, you know, simple ingredients, and baking yourself. Yeah. Even better when it's homemade. Definitely Domo. That's the best. Let me run my. So just for those who missed it, I'm gonna run now my. Let me move this here. I'm gonna run my watercolor animation for you in the background. Check it out. I made this. If anyone missed it, but yeah. Yeah, Mad Archives. You don't know Kim Jung-gi? Yeah, he's so one of the things aside from the. Yeah, people probably commented in the chat, but one thing is, aside from just how good he was, he does all of this from his imagination. He draws from imagination. Huge panoramic scenes in complex perspective, and he does everything from imagination, which made him incredible and with no guidelines, which is insane. You know, I could see myself after some practice sketching something like this car, without any, you know, reference. I could see myself learning its structure, but I will use guidelines. Without guidelines is a completely different story. So tough. Leftovers intermittent fasting helps too. Yeah. So 2 days ago, was Yom Kippur, which is again a holiday, a fast. So I fasted for 24 hours. That was interesting. I do intermittent fasting here and there. I want to do more of it. Lynn, I came in late. Have you tried McCracken Black? Very natural and can be beautiful gray with less pigment. I don't know this paint, but it's definitely a funny name, McCracken. So is it named after an artist? I believe it is, right? McCracken. There's a really funny pun to do there. I'll skip it. Who's the artist? Why doesn't it say who the artist is? Because I opened up the video here. Is it Watercolor Pour YouTube channel about? Let's see. Buffy? No, it's not. So it's not. That's just a review. So wait, who is it named after? Well, let me know. A crack and black. It looks cool. It really looks cool. Yeah, Linder. They also add R where it doesn't belong. Donna, yeah, that's right. Well, it does belong there, unfortunately, in their pronunciation. Let's see. Brilliant art god. Indeed. New Englanders tend to drop the R at the end of words and replace them with... oh, okay, so it's like the complete opposite. It's like dropping the R or adding an R. Josephine, I love bacon, tomato, and black olives on pizza. Yeah, that's a good, solid construction for a pizza, for sure. To me, we just don't have as much like bacon ham here because it's not kosher. You can get it. It's just not really in our culture. I did eat it a few times and I love it. But to me, I would replace that bacon with a sausage or something like that, and it's the perfect for me. That's not kosher too, by the way, because it's cheese and meat. That's according to Jewish law, it's not kosher. Pierre, by the way, I was vegan for a couple of years and then I ate fully kosher, no meat and no cheese. Pierre, however, homebound by broken ankle, I'm eating ice cream, candy bars, micro meals, and a bit of French champagne to make it bearable. Oh man, that's tough, Pierre. That's tough. It sounds fun, but it's you can't do this for too long, I guess. Domo, also Liron, a question: pineapple and pizza. There's only one correct answer. Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot. I'm not a big fan of sweets plus dough in general. So I'm not a big fan of, don't shoot me, apple pies. I'm not a big fan of, whenever there's dough involved, whether it's meant to be sweet or meant to be, like pizza, salty or sweet, I'm not a big fan. It doesn't work as well for me. With fruit, I mean. I'm okay with sweet. I like salt better than sweet, generally speaking, but like chocolate is okay, not so much fruit on my baked goods. With pineapple on pizza, I have tried it a few times. I liked some and I really disliked others. I feel like if it's done sparingly, just a few slices, thin, I'm okay with it and I will enjoy it. If there is more than that, if it's thick slices, if it's a lot of slices, never. Not really. Not really. My pizza needs to primarily be salty. The sweetness can come from pizza spices that are good. I'm sorry if I disappoint any pineapple fans. Yeah. That's the thing. I can draw like that. Some got a photographic memory. If I draw it once I get it down. Oh, that's cool. That's a great ability. Yeah. I can do it for some things, but not detailed. Not detailed. Area. Yeah. India. All of the everything. R at the end of everything. Lynn. Yes, he does watercolors of intricate silver and crystal. Oh, cool. Patricia. Pineapple and ham on pizza. Hawaiian. Yeah, so I guess I'm not a big fan of Hawaiian pizza. Pineapple and pizza is awesome, says Meta Archives. Lauren McCracken. Okay, Lauren McCracken. That's easy. Yeah, I'm familiar with the artist. I remembered her name. It just wasn't. Couldn't remember it. Wait, is it Lauren? Is it a guy? It's a guy. It's Lauren McCracken. And I confuse him with someone else. I know a Lauren something. So I'm not familiar with this artist. Liron, yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Donna, Italians will curse you if you mention pineapple on pizza. Yeah, I guess I'm more of a big fan of Italian pizza. One thing I will say is, and I had like a pizza in, where was it? Not Naples. Was it Naples? I can't recall, but it was good. I like New York pizza a lot too. Very thin, big slices. Love that. One thing I was gonna say, so when I was vegan, I was with a friend in Italy, and he is lactose intolerant. Like he cannot eat, or is he allergic to milk? I don't remember. He cannot eat milk. He gets inflated. He can't breathe, and it's very dangerous for him, of course. So we had a vegan pizza. When we were in Italy, and the pizza was made of, it was sauce and it was mushrooms, and the mushrooms were sliced super thin, like the thinnest I've ever had, and it was one of the best pizzas I've ever had. It was in Rome. It was so good. There was no cheese on it. It was tons of sliced mushrooms. It was tons of it. It covered it completely, like cheese would. It was so good, and it was perfect because I was kind of vegan, sometimes vegetarian. He couldn't eat milk. It's perfect harmony. I did take him once to a vegan pizza place called the Green Cat. That's what the name of the place. And the evening or the night, the same night he had his appendicitis. Had to have it appendicitis. Is it called? I think so. We had to have it removed. It almost burst, or it started bursting. I don't know how that works, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the vegan pizza they had on the Green Cat pizza. I felt a bit bad later, but I don't think it's the pizza's fault. Marjorie, concerned about your food diet and weight. Grow a vegetable garden. Mine is now 10.5 wine barrels on my deck. Wow, someone else needs to plant the. After more than 60 years of it. That's amazing. Yeah, so, I try to eat at least somewhat clean, and I'm gonna crank it up soon for sure, because I don't like that I feel like I'm falling off. Um, the the thing is, I sometimes buy organic. When I buy eggs, I try to make it almost only omega-3 eggs, pasture raised as much as possible, organic pasture raised. I know it doesn't mean much depending on where you get them from. But yeah, that would be amazing. To have my own chicken would be amazing. That could be fun. But yeah, trying to keep it healthy. The one thing I do buy consistently organic is potatoes. I don't know why, but they're much tastier. Even though I'm probably gonna start dropping potatoes soon. Liron, where do you live? Can you tell us? I live in Israel. Things are very different here. So on the one hand, I know in the US, it's very easy to get very processed food in supermarkets. Even if you go to Costco and stuff like that, sometimes you have to be very picky regarding the quality and origin of what you buy, because things are taken to the max. Capitalism, and you can get everything you want, which I love. I think that's great. But the thing is, so I watched a video the other day. They talked about how Parmesan cheese, most of the Parmesan cheese you'll get at the grocery store or supermarket, it's not going to be real Parmesan. It's going to be a mix of mozzarella and other things. They grind, they bind them together. And one good thing about here in Israel, you can actually get most of these things actually are more natural. So you have less of supply, right? But the supply is fresher. A lot of it is local. A lot of it is, like in Japan, the fish is really fresh. The fish is best. It's one of the best things to find in Japan. The fish, raw fish. I know a lot of Americans, especially, are squeamish, and I'm sorry. I feel like feels like I'm picking on Americans, but just because I know a lot of my audience is from there, I know a lot of Americans and Europeans aren't squeamish about raw fish. It's very popular here, actually. And in Japan, it makes sense that it's popular here. We're very Mediterranean kind of cuisine, but in Japan, fish is a thing. They take pride in how fresh the fish is. So yeah, a lot of things here are locally grown, very fresh, good quality. The cheese, actually, a lot of things do come from Europe, so it's the real Parmesan or the real Grana Padano. So that's one advantage we have. But there's less. Like, good luck finding grass-fed beef. That's tough. Some claim it is. I don't think so. But yeah, that takes me down a rabbit hole of, I think beef is really bad too. Not in terms of health necessarily, like, the animals. But yeah, but I still eat it. Mad Archive, 90% of what goes on pizza these days isn't traditional, not just fine. Yeah, that's true. To be fair, that's true. MB, I have to leave now. It was fun to see you. Yeah, thank you for being here. Don't know whom, I'll accept it, but for me, it's wrong to put it on pizza. Yeah, it's like, you'll eat the pizza, right? But maybe you don't like it as much. Same here. Patricia, the first time I learned about kosher food was from the movie Jazz Singer, when Lucy Arnaz cooked a ham dinner for Neil Diamond. Oops. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's such a part of our culture. A lot of people here eat kosher. That's reality. It depends on where you live. Some places are more traditional, conservative. Some are more liberal. Tel Aviv is the most liberal you'll find, with fewer people strict on their kosher. John Smith, love your shading book. Working on mine too. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So wait, working on mine too. That means you're gonna publish a shading book? Let me know. Here, not Philip McCracken and Ben Dover. Sorry. It's very late. Ben, Dover. That's why you should really be careful when you read messages on a live stream, because some people really troll you. Yeah. It's like that quote from Harry Potter with that Ron Weasley quote with that star, or I don't know if it's called a planet or whatever. Don't know. Pizza margherita is the best. Yeah, so that will be like the most common one. I like it, but I do like more. I like tuna on my pizza a lot. Pierre, don't get me started on vegans. Two best friends are not enough protein, more disease than anyone I know. So actually, I was vegan again for 4 years, and my blood tests, I used to do them regularly, were always great. Now, I did go the very healthy route. I tried to eat as healthy as I could. I did use some substitutes, but not a lot of them. The worst one I used was seitan, and I know it's tasty, but I know it's bad. It's like seitan is bad. Especially if you have even the mildest allergies. Yeah, it's just a gluten. It's just wheat protein. But I did get enough protein. I was in pretty good shape too. I don't know if it's age. I don't know, but yeah, in terms of ideology, I am for veganism. But I guess not enough to actually do it right now. But I do feel bad for how animals are raised and treated. I think it really is. I think it's a sin, honestly. I don't know. Marjorie, stress can cause your appendix to burst, by the way. Maybe it was stressful about the vegan pizza and that caused it. I don't know. Yeah. Here, your daughter is young enough to absorb. I don't know what that relates to. I'm continuing reading. Appendicitis caused. But yeah, I don't know. We won't get into medical debates here. Parmigiano Reggiano is the real thing. Yeah, and you can find it here. Man, I wish I could get fish like people in Japan. Yeah, that would be great. Even here, it's really hard to find like wild caught salmon. John, for some reason, I always thought he is British. I kayak fish in South Africa. Nothing better than fresh tuna, mackerel, and dorado. Yeah, I had mackerel once and I liked it, and then I had it again and I hated it. I don't know why. Domo, in the UK where I live, almost everything is artificial. Maybe not like US, but still. In Poland, where I'm from, it's closer to what it's like where you live. Yeah, that makes sense. So, you know, a lot of people came to Israel from Europe. It's very influenced by a lot of cultures. So what ends up happening is very interesting, you know? So you have a lot of people from Muslim countries, like my mom, origins in Iraq. My grandparents were born in Iraq. And then you have a lot of European influences. So you get a bit of everything. And I think that gives a lot of strength to these kind of things, the things you can find. Because people bring their cuisine here. You know, there was a huge Jewish French, I don't know if you'd call it migration here in the last decade. A lot of French people came here. Some cities are almost called French. There's tons of French people. And they brought with them a lot of French-style delis and stuff like that. It's really cool. It really is cool. Pierre, I made you laugh. My work is complete. Yeah, definitely. Josephine, I was a cook at a kids' Jewish camp one summer. The kosher kitchen reminded me of safe food handling rules taken to another level. I enjoyed it and learned a few things. Yeah, there is some truth to that. It is considered healthier and safe. Some regards, I think. Cleaner. But you know what? Things are very expensive here because they have to go through the rabbinate. That actually sucks. But yeah. Teresa, thanks for sharing, Liron. I would love to visit Israel someday. I'm a little scared of being out of my comfort zone. I would love to take my paints too, but not sure if airlines would allow. Actually, I flew a lot with paints, never had a problem. And it's the heaviest kind of security here measures, especially when you come back. And I've never had any issues with my paints, never ever. I flew to Europe, US with paints all the time. I even flew to Morocco. You know, I recently visited Morocco with paints, had no problems. Domo, that sounds super interesting. Sadly, I don't know a lot about Israel. Yeah, in terms of safety and stuff, this place is very safe, but once in a while you get a bit of a rocket situation, and it's a hit or miss. But generally speaking, I almost never felt completely unsafe. So it's pretty safe, I guess. Yeah. I think it's a very interesting conversation, but I feel like I'm taking up too much of your time. But I don't know. Let me know. We can continue. We can continue this, but I feel like it's a good point. If you want to break it here, I still have today to work out. It's important. I actually have a bit of a hand injury from moving here. I carried a lot of heavy stuff, and I did this weird twist. And I have this bit of a inflammation in my wrist, it actually radiates a bit to this area here in the pinky, and I'm doing physiotherapy, so I'm doing a bunch of these, a bunch of these, a bunch of these, and a bit with weights. So I'm combined that into my workout routine. Very important. Med archives. Are you allowed to carry firearms? You need a license. It's not like the US here. You see a lot of people with firearms because there's a strong military is a big part of life. So you see soldiers a lot because everyone, like every place that has mandatory military service, you see people around everywhere. You know them. It's your friends' kids and your grandparents and your uncle is in the military. It's just like that because it's mandatory. So we see a lot of rifles everywhere, but it's soldiers handling them for the most part. You need to get a permit, and I don't know how hard it is to get a permit. It is possible, I guess, but it's not as easy as in the US. I think in the US you can just buy them everywhere too. Here it's much more regulated. Andreas, I just tuned in. What did I miss? You missed a lot. Oh, Donna, yeah, your hands is treasure. I need to look after them. So, Andreas, you missed a lot, but the most important thing is my watercolor animation. There you go. You get to see it. I'm so proud of this. I'm going to show it. I'm going to play it again and again and again. So I did this animation. It's going to be painted soon, but for now it's just a pencil. I hope you like it. But yeah, we talked about everything. Man, we talked about food and languages and a bunch of stuff, culture, stuff we don't usually talk about. Yeah, it's been great fun, actually. Great, thanks for your advice. Yeah, definitely. Let me know if you want to make more concrete plans on visiting. Email me. That would be the best to make sure I see it. Email me and put in the title even I'm coming to visit or I want to come visit, so that I see it. I'll give you more information you need. It's sometimes hard to find the right information. But yeah, you know what sucks here? The Hebrew internet is terrible. So what I love in English is I can look up. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I can look up just about any topic, and I'll find whatever I want on it. The problem is here, the internet is not as developed. We don't have a Reddit. We have a few forums that are active, but you can't find the niche stuff. So usually it doesn't matter because I Google everything in English. I don't Google for anything almost in Hebrew because why would I? The only time I need to Google things in English is for local food. If I want to cook something that's Israeli or even it's Arabic food, but it's been brought here, and you will find the best results looking for it in Hebrew. For things that relate to taxes and stuff that are local, and for Israeli TV shows. That's the only thing that I have to, and whenever I need to do that, I hate it because you can find anything. So that's one thing I really dislike. It's just not as developed. I wish it was. So I just I Google everything in English for the most part, unless I have to in Hebrew. But yeah, I've flown with So yeah, I've flown with tubes. I've flown with scissors. I've flown with the paper, with clips. The one thing I don't think I ever flew with was a X-Acto knife or a palette knife. Never did that. But everything else, I mean, never had an issue. Well, same here. There's no reason for me to look up things in my language, like, ever. Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, you said that you're in the UK anyway. So, like, yeah. You said Poland was the original country of origin? Yeah. There's no reason to. If you can search it in English, you'll find the best information. I actually think it gave me an edge over a lot of people here. Because from a young age, I Google, like, I don't know, 15, 16, I Google everything in English. So I was able to find, and to this day, I think I'm able to find better information than a lot of my friends and a lot of my family, because I Google everything in English. Donna, can you change your location? I changed mine to Italian when I was learning the language. So what do you mean? Like, to actually relocate? I mean, I could, but I don't know. I like it here. Or do you mean like a location on the computer settings? Teresa, how is Morocco? Oh, Marjorie, you got stuff for a sewing needle. That's crazy. When was it? Because sometimes they're just more tense. Teresa, yeah, Morocco was excellent. It was really fun. They, because it's an Arabic, not an Arabic speaking. That's not what I want to say. A Muslim Islamist country. It could be a little scary if you're Jewish, but it became a very popular destination. They love Israelis. I was told that. I read that. A lot of people I know went there. Everyone I know went there. Israeli people go to Egypt all the time to Sinai. It's like a chill vacation. People do that. I'm scared, but people do that. People, yeah, on the computer, Donna. It's precision security. Yeah. Well, at least it's secure, right? But in any case, yeah, it's a very popular destination. So when we were there, it's usually you go there on an organized trip with a guide that knows the place and everything in a group, and the guide cooperates with the local police, and sometimes they come with you on tours. But for the most, on the way back, I met someone on the plane, military guy in his 40s, still in the army, who went there with his family, with his wife and 3 kids, and they had a wonderful vacation in Marrakesh. So if you want to go drive around and stuff like that, I would recommend doing it as a group, especially if you're Jewish, Israeli, whatever, if you have an Israeli passport. But for the most part, it is super safe from what it felt like. It's not LGBTQ, etc. safe, I think, as much. I don't think they're not very liberal in that sense. So I think some precautions, and they do tell you not to wear too exposed, which I really dislike. I really dislike that. I don't like. We don't get into politics here barely, but I won't say necessarily I'm the most liberal, but I really dislike being in places that aren't as liberal in terms of like all of the US to be as liberal compared to the rest, to many places in the world. That may be an unpopular or, I don't know, a controversial opinion, but it's Western, right? No matter what you're going to say, it's Western. It is very liberal. You can dress however you want. And it's not like that in a Muslim country. Even here, it's more of a traditional country, so it could be like people wear whatever they want here. It's not a problem anywhere. But some cities are more traditional and more, they're closed on Sabbath, stuff like that. So yeah, it could be a problem for some people. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful in these places. The people themselves are great, very friendly. Morocco, I'm talking about. Very friendly, very tourism oriented, like super fun. Food is bad. I'm sorry to say. It depends on where you go. There are good restaurants, but the local cuisine is not, believe it or not, it's not that spicy. They barely put any spices and herbs in the food. So we ate couscous. It's a very popular dish here. I know it's popular everywhere, and in the US and in Europe and everywhere, but couscous has been popular here for the longest time because it's been brought from these countries, by people who came here from countries where it's a very popular dish, and it's just, I got used to couscous here that has taste. Couscous in Morocco has zero taste for most of the places we visited, unfortunately. I don't know why. They just don't spice their food as much. Thank you, Adriel. I've flown dry paints. Thanks, Marjorie. Same here. No reason for me to look up that. We read through that. Oh, we read through most of it. We read through almost everything. Marjorie, 7 years ago, the last time I could travel is when I got stuff for a needle. Teresa, what about plastic palette knife? I don't know. Is that a thing? I think if it looks bad on the scanner, I wouldn't take it. Donna, I have to go. I'm a big fan of your art videos. Keep out the good work. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. As we say our goodbyes for today, I'm going to share the animation. But don't worry, you're not going to have to wait for too long because Saturday is going to be the bees video. So thank you so much for everyone who stuck around here. That's great. We've been going for a while now. And we still have most of the people here. I like how the light becomes more visible this time. It's a fun setup to stream when it's a little darker. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. You've just lost your tourist visa in Morocco. Yeah, they were awesome. Really, they were awesome. Just not really. Just not spicy food. I mean, I think they're proud of being more traditional, so I don't think they care that I say that. But yeah, they're super friendly. The people are, at the end of the day, are super friendly. And you know what my biggest miss in Morocco is? I had someone. Hey Logan, how are you? Thank you so much. I had a message on Instagram. I posted a story from one of the bigger landmarks, and I think it was Marrakesh. Or no, not Marrakesh, it was Casablanca, I think. And someone messaged me on Instagram that they were really close by, they live there. And I had time to meet them, but I saw the message only a couple of hours later. So that was my huge miss. I could have met a fan from Morocco, so that sucked. But yeah, football brother, bro, I'm a new sub. Thank you for being here. Absolutely love your candor, and thanks for teaching about the ways of the world I haven't seen yet. Yeah, my pleasure. Enjoy your day, everyone. Laura, thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Keep creating. And we'll see you on Saturday's video. And I'll try and answering some comments in between. And yeah, looking forward to this. This is great fun. John, I once had, we'll read this and then we'll wrap it up. I once had some vitamin tubes and thick printer cable, but I didn't realize I will get scared at the X-ray. They came with some device to try to detect if it was a bug. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Thank you, Saridwen or Caridwen. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. My apologies. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ted. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.